the Red Panda exhibit. I'm Libby, this is Ellie, this is Dr. Eric Curry. We have a couple fun things to talk about today. First off, today is Lynn, who's right here in the middle, 7th birthday.
Right here.
Happy birthday, Lynn. She was born here, she's been here her whole life. She's a really good girl. But the more exciting news is that Lynn is pregnant. She's due to have her, what we said, 6. 6 with her. 6 with her. She's had 8 cubs total. And you see they love apple. So we thought today we would show you how we know she's pregnant. And that we do that by doing an ultrasound. And that's what Dr. Curry's here. She's from our crew. And she will do the actual ultrasounds on our pandas. We'll see if Lynn will come over and actually get on the stand.
All the babies are.
I got too many pandas. You go over there. Call her. The fun of working with pandas. They're a little kooky.
Focus, focus.
There we go. So we got Lynn here. And Dr. Curry wants to kind of talk about how she does an ultrasound.
Sure. So what you can see here is our custom-built ultrasound setup. So Lynn has been trained over the years to stand and show her belly to us, which makes it easier for us to perform an ultrasound on her belly so we can see if she's possibly pregnant. So this is, I think, the 6th pregnancy that we've diagnosed in Lynn. And you can see how she stands here like a champ and she eats her apples or her bananas as a reward for standing so well. But what she'll allow us to do is take our ultrasound probe. We can take the ultrasound probe and usually we'll put a ton of jelly on it in order to better see, get good contact and see the potential babies. And we say, give her a little touch at the end, and she lets us rub the ultrasound probe all over her belly. You can see how good she stands for it. So we've taken a few different ultrasound scans of her this year. And we've been able to see a healthy looking fetus, a healthy looking baby. And we think this baby will probably be born around the end of June, early July, so just a few weeks from now. So Lynn is very pregnant in the red panda world. An interesting thing about red panda pregnancies is that they can actually be variable in length. So red pandas can be pregnant from anywhere between 90 and 150 days. So it can be hard to predict when they will actually have their cubs. But by tracking Lynn's pregnancy by ultrasound, we can get a better idea of when she'll produce those cubs. And by comparing the measurements that we take to her previous pregnancy measurements, we have a pretty good idea, a pretty good guess that she'll have those cubs about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, you were spot on last year, I thought. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. Liv wants to know, do you use positive reinforcement to get her stand that way for the ultrasound?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we do. So she gets up here, she gets rewarded with the apple. And that's one of her favorite foods. Hi, kiddo. One of her cubs from last year.
And Diego wants to know, how many babies can they have at a time?
They can have 1 to 4 at a time. 1 to 2 is average. So Lynn has had she's had 2 single babies, and then the rest have been doubles.
And Kristen wants to know, how many babies is she going to have this time? Is she pregnant with just 1?
We aren't sure. We'll find out when she actually gives birth. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 4. We just don't really know right now. It's kind of tough to see all of them.
Jackson wants to know, how long is their gestation period?
So it can be anywhere between 90 days and 150 days.
Kelly asked, are red pandas related to any other kind of panda?
They are not. The giant panda is actually a bear. They've done DNA testing, and they're a bear. And these guys are not related to anybody. They're in their own family group called the Luridae. The closest family group they're related to are weasels and mustelids, but yeah, they are all by themselves.
Esme wants to know, how big are the babies?
They're kind of like a kitten. They're like a kitten's born. I don't know exactly how tiny that is, but if you know what a kitten looks like when they're first born, very tiny like that. I don't have very good measurements.
Cass and Trent want to know if we've picked any names out.
We have not. Yes.
Gabriel asked about their coloring. Does it help them camouflage?
It does. So the reddish color on them is actually, there's a reddish moss that grows in the trees where they live, so that camouflages them. Also, the black dark underbelly, when you look up into a tree, you see the dark branches, so that dark belly helps, you know, camouflage them that way.
Evan wants to know, are they able to make any noises and sounds?
They are. They have kind of a chirping, not purring, but chirping sound, a little trill. Sometimes you might hear a little whistle, but that's about it. It's not a lot of vocalization. You don't hear it all the time.
Birthday cake.
Yeah, we have a little birthday cake for Lynn. She's 7.
Happy birthday, lady.
Oh, and there she is. So she's
Yeah,
the first one in. Happy birthday, Lynn.
Chloe wondered, how long do the babies stay with the mom?
They will stay with the mom until the next breeding season, so almost not quite a year. Here, they're with her for a year, but they do have, if we place them in another institution, they'll leave sometimes less than a year, but they are fully on, you know, eating on their own, doing their own thing, well before a year's time. So these girls are full grown and able to live on their own right now if they wanted to.
Sam asked, do they have any predators?
Yeah, in the wild it would be snow leopards and martens, and then human beings. Unfortunately, the people, we do hunt them for their fur, and we think they're good pets, but they are not good pets. They are terrible at being pets. They don't like being touched or picked up like a cat. You cannot cuddle them. They truly are a wild animal.
Mrs. Fagan and Miss Adams' class are wondering, what is their favorite food?
I think it's apple. They do love banana as well, but they really do love apple. So we made them a little birthday cake with apple slices and banana.
Laura wants to know, are they friendly to humans?
As you see, we're in here with them, so they are in that sense. I mean, if we were to approach one in the wild, they would run away. But these guys were born around, you know, with us. They've been around us their whole lives. We can't, like I said, we can't pick them up or touch them like a cat, but we can work around them. They do have very sharp claws, so like they were earlier trying to put their paws on me. I was trying to back away because those claws are very sharp.
Ainsley is wondering, how soft are they?
A lot of people say they're coarse. I think they're kind of soft. Not quite as soft as a cat, but I wouldn't say, you know, not a lot of coarser than that, but I think they do have a softness.
Jasper and Esme want to know, what do they use their long tails for?
They will use it to kind of balance as they climb. They also wrap it around their face like a scarf in the winter to keep themselves warm.
And Evelyn's asking about the tail too. Is it a prehensile tail?
It is technically not prehensile, but they will use it when they're climbing to kind of grasp a branch, you know, kind of balance themselves while they're climbing.
Jordan wants to know if they're endangered.
They are endangered. There's less than 2,000 left in the wild. There's 2 species of red panda, the Fulgens and the Styans. These guys are the Styans. They're mainly from China, whereas the other species is mainly from Nepal, Bhutan, India. But yeah, like I said, there's less than 2,000, so they are critically endangered. That's why we're part of a breeding program to try and stop that.
Liv wants to know, do they spend time with their dad?
They can. Right now, he's not in here with them. Actually, their father... Yeah, Kohler's their father. Their father actually lives in San Diego Zoo right now. But we have had males in, you know, the father in with the cubs before. That's not a problem.
Katie asked, what is their lifespan?
They live to the mid to late teens. There was one in Japan that lived at 25. In the wild, it's much less than that, but in captivity, mid to late teens. We had one here, she was 17 when she finally passed.
Emery wants to know, are they born with stripes on their tails?
They are not. When they are born, they have a whitish-gray fur, completely whitish-gray fur all over them, so they don't have the stripes just yet. And it's a little teeny tiny tail. But as they start to grow, they start to get that reddish coloration and all that stripes come in as they get a little bigger.
Nicole asked, do they have their own personalities?
I think they do, yeah, absolutely. Our 2 cubs here, Audra and Lenore. Audra's much more bold. She's much more, you know, she'll really get out there and try things. She's a little more, whereas Lenore's a little, you know, skittish. She'll kind of hang back a little more. But yeah, I definitely think they have their own personalities. Lynn is very fun-loving, lots of energy. She always has. She had a famous video many years ago of her and her mother playing in the snow here at the zoo, and they are a bit of goofballs though.
Rachel wants to know, what's their favorite toy or enrichment?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if they have a favorite. They like stuff that they can climb on. They like things that have food in and they can knock the food out. They're very inquisitive. You see them look around at everything that everyone's holding here. But yeah, I don't think we have a favorite toy.
Angela wants to know if they can swim.
They cannot swim, yeah. They are not swimmers at all. Libby, do they eat meat? That is a good question. They are technically carnivores, but they eat primarily bamboo. So they do catch a small bird or mammal occasionally. Even here in the exhibit, they've been known to catch a small bird, even a small rabbit once. But they do eat primarily bamboo. We feed them a leaf eater biscuit, which has all the nutrients and calories they need, and obviously they eat the fruit. They will eat occasional mushroom in the wild and fruit in the wild, but yeah, they're technically carnivores that eat primarily bamboo, which makes them unique in the world.
Our last question is from Maple. She wants to know if they're nocturnal.
They are technically diurnal, so they're active dawn and dusk. So they'd be asleep at night, technically. Oh, and that's it. We got no more questions. That is it here at the Red Panda exhibit. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And we've had a lot of fun celebrating Lynn's birthday and her upcoming pregnancy. And hopefully, in the future we'll let you know how many cubs she has.